Okay, and so when we are dealing with solving equations, it's important to understand that basically there's one goal, and that goal is to isolate the variable, which means to get the variable by itself. And in order to do that, we need to do the inverse operation of whatever is being done to the variable. So if we see addition, for instance, we need to subtract. If we see subtraction, we need to add. If we see multiplication, we need to divide. And if we see division, we need to multiply. So we'll go ahead and get started with this first one here. We have negative 2 equal to 3 plus x. And so what we're constantly doing is saying, okay, where is the variable and what's happening to it? So we see that the variable is right there, and it is having 3 added to it. So to undo that, or to do the inverse operation of that, we need to subtract 3 from both sides. And one of the things that I like to do is draw a line down the middle here to help me remember that I need to keep both sides of this equation balanced. And so whatever I do to the right side of the blue line, I need to do to the left side of the blue line as well. And so on the left, we have negative 2 minus 3 is going to be negative 5. And on the right, we have 3 minus 3 is going to be 0 plus x. Now, we don't need to write that 0 because it's nothing. And so what we are left with is negative 5 is equal to x. We'll give another one a shot here. We have negative 3 equals w minus 6. And so we see again that the variable is right there, and what's being done to it is 6 is being subtracted from it. So we need to do the inverse operation of 6, which is subtracting 6, which is to add 6 to both sides. And I'll draw my blue line again to remember that I've got to maintain equality here. I've got to keep both sides of the equation balanced. Negative 3 plus 6 is going to be positive 3, and what's left is a w, because negative 6 plus 6 is 0. We don't need to write that 0. Next, we have negative 7 plus x is equal to negative 9. I'm going to keep our equation balanced, so I've got my blue line going. We see that what's happening to x is there's a negative 7 being applied to it. It's adding negative 7, which is the same as subtracting 7. So instead of subtracting 7, we want to add 7. So that will make 0. We're adding 7 to both sides. We get x is equal to negative 9 plus 7 is going to be negative 2. Okay, we'll do 2 more. We have negative 4 equals u plus 7. And so here we see that the u is having 7 added to it. So in response to that, we are going to subtract 7 from both sides. And negative 4 minus 7 is going to be negative 11. And positive 7 minus 7 is going to be 0, which we don't need to write. So u is negative 11. One more. We've got w plus 9 equals negative 7. We see that we are adding 9 to w. The inverse operation of that would be to subtract 9. We've got to do it to both sides, so our equation remains balanced. And we get w is equal to negative 9, and negative 7 makes negative 16.